and thank you for joining us this evening. We have a very, very special guest today that is going to share for our community highlight for the month of March, Louise and David Green. I am so excited to hear from them and have them share some of their wisdom. So we've been taking pictures for a lovely photo shoot. I hope you all have enjoyed that. And I would like to go ahead and get started. I have some questions. Are you all ready? All right, each month we have a community highlight of a couple that is sharing their knowledge about cultivating healthy relationships and how healthy relationships are cultivated. So tonight, I'm looking forward to you all sharing some of your wisdom with us. We're going to start out with how long have the two of you been together?
60 years.
60 years.
That's a long time. Okay, awesome. Congratulations on your 60 years. Now, if you were to tell others who want to share what you two have and stay together as long as you two have stayed together, what would you tell them, each of you? Who wants to go first?
I would say to always be truthful, never keep secrets, and to have fun with one another. That would be mine. What would be yours?
Well, I would tell the men, always tell your wife that you love her, and always treat her as your wife and not as your possession. It makes for a long, healthy life together when you learn how to treat your wife like your wife. Women are not toys; they're not to be played with.
Somebody said, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, happy wife, happy life. And I'm just as much in love today as I was 60 years ago with the same woman.
Quality love more every day.
Oh, so Mrs. Green, I want you to share from your perspective to men and to women. So we'll start with the women first. What advice would you give to women about relationships if they're trying to cultivate a healthy relationship? What advice would you give to women?
Well, I would say when your man comes in the door, get real crazy and just jump all around him and all around his neck and be happy to see him. And he'll say, "What's the matter with you, girl?" And you just tell him how much you love him. And then you go back in the kitchen and do whatever you have to do.
Oh, it's beautiful. All right, Mr. Green, we're going to ask you the same thing. What advice would you give to women?
Well, to love your husband as your husband loves you, to always treat her with great respect, and women, treat your husband with respect. Never hide anything from him, because it'll come up later, only to hurt you.
Beautiful. So now we're going to switch it and see what advice you would give to the men. Ms. Green, you can start first. What advice would you give to men when it comes to relationships and cultivating healthy relationships? What are some of your secrets, some of the things you would say to men, to the men?
I would say always take your woman by the hand and just hold it, because women like to have men to take them by the hand, because as their protector, they feel secure when men hold them by the hand.
Anything else you want to say that you think men could benefit from a woman's perspective?
Well, my husband tells me that he loves me every day.
3 times a
And
day.
never go to bed unhappy. Never always go to bed on one, together, one accord. If he if you kind of had an argument or something, just make sure you get rid of it before you go to bed. And if you get into bed and you haven't said, I'm sorry or whatever, just turn over and say, look, I'm sorry, honey. That always worked for me.
Thank you, Ms. Green. Mr. Green, what advice or what words would you give to the men from the male perspective? You're talking to other men. What secrets or what would you say to the men?
Treat her with great respect. Be honest with her. Love her every day, because love grows. My wife and I have been in this 60 years, and our love is still growing. I still get all teary-eyed when I think about when I first met her. Always treat her with great respect. Always tell her that you love her. It's good. She's number one. And you want to make sure that she knows that she's the only one in your life.
Tell us how you first met, and thank you so much for that. I think the men and the women gained some insight from the words of wisdom from people who have been together for 60 years. So tell us how you first met. If you can give us the PG version. I'm just kidding. You can give us any version you like. And then after that, we're going to talk about how you diffuse arguments if you do have an argument. So tell us how you first met, and then we'll talk about how you would diffuse arguments, because people don't always agree. And one of the things that my husband and I do is we agree to disagree, because I'm not going to agree with your point all the time. You're not going to agree with mine. Mm-hmm. So we just agree to disagree, and we stay friends. So tell us how you first met, and then we'll talk about how, from each of your perspectives, how you diffuse arguments when you do have an argument.
Well, we met at a nightclub. It was late at night.
Dion, we see you.
I had just recently come
Chantel,
back
thank you.
from the Navy.
Veronica.
And came home, and I wasn't really looking for a relationship, but she showed up, and I said, well, that's the one. That's the one I want, because she was fine. She still is fine.
I see you, Julia.
Makeup by Nia. Shameless plug.
Yeah, she was fine.
Jackie, Lisa.
So I just from that night on, in fact,
Patricia.
when we left the nightclub and went home, it was late, but I talked to her on the phone for the other half of the night, just to make sure that it was all real.
Yeah.
And we've been in love ever since, and our love keeps growing stronger every day.
Well,
Mom, tell your
I'm
side.
going to keep mine short. There was this girl, she dropped her handkerchief,
Oh, Lord.
and this guy picked it up
That was me.
and gave her handkerchief.
Yeah.
And this girl said to this guy, I would love to kiss you.
Yeah.
And then this girl walked away, and this guy looked at her like, what? So that's what happened. And that's when my knight in shining armor came into my life.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And you must remember now, I said we've been together 60 years. We've only been married 58 years.
Okay.
You have to practice sometime.
You want to read some of the comments?
Some of the comments is good job. That makeup is beautiful. Everybody says hello. Neat says she's watching. Hello.
Yes, amen.
Dion says she's hello. Nita Tate. Chantel Mitchell. Shout out to Dion Townsend and Pi Tate. Julia Guiti, the Guitis. Lori Butts, Jackie Jinlack, Lisa Pruitt. Shout out to Patricia Lynn Robinson. Larry Allen. Cheryl Shanks Green. We got a lot of people here giving some beautiful comments. So thank you. So let's talk about how you diffuse arguments. So sometimes we don't see eye to eye as a couple, as families, siblings. How do you diffuse? What would you do? What wisdom would you give or share on how you diffuse or how you deal with arguments?
Well, we very seldom have arguments, but if one does pop up, we simply just kiss each other and forgive each other and let it go, because argument will continue to be an argument when you continue to feed into it. So we don't feed into it.
And try not to have the last word.
No.
I found that if you don't try to have the last word, it'll kind of subside the argument, and you just kind of go on about your business. But if you try to have the last word, it kind of fuses thing, make it worse. I think.
Amen.
What you think?
Amen. I think you're right.
Because I always
right.
not try to have the last
I
word.
don't need the last word.
Well, we got a few more questions that have come in. They want to know, from your perspective and wisdom, how you would encourage new couples to go about their finances.
Checking accounts, saving accounts.
Well, I'm from the old school. I don't believe in this double checking accounts. If you're together as husband and wife are one, you only need one, and both of you ought to sit down and count the cost, see what it is you're trying to do financially, and work it out together. That's the way we do.
You found that to be successful when you bring
Very
the two
successful.
people together, discuss your financial needs, and make decisions together. So
Very
that it's transparency between the two of you, and you both know what's in the bank.
Yes.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. We both know what we have. I don't hide from her. She don't hide from me.
Okay. We have another question that came in. How important has a relationship with God been in your relationship with each other?
It's very important to have a relationship with God because God solves all of our problems. Every situation that come up that we can't handle, we turn it over to the Lord and He works it out. And it works, men.
And I'm glad that you brought God in, because I didn't know whether you was going to say anything about God. But with us, we have a family in the house, with the family, and it's 3 people. So it's me and him and God. That's the way we look at things. When we get ready to do the finances, it's me and him and God. That's it.
Yeah. Works.
Oh, I love it. We got some more comments coming in. That is beautiful. Thank you so much. Great job, you guys. Angela and DJ, shout out to you all. This is Angela, loving seeing my pastor and first lady sharing words of wisdom. So we want to thank everybody who's joined us. Lisa said, that's right. There is 3. There is 3, and you're successful with 3. Someone said a threefold cord is not easily broken.
That's right.
There's 3 chords together. So we're coming down to the end of the Facebook Live, and thank you so much for being here. You both look magnificent, amazing.
We do.
There you go.
The last question or the last statement in the Facebook Live is, what would the two of you like to say to each other?
Well, baby, we've been together this long. We might as well go all the way. I love you so much.
I love you too.
I'll never stop loving you.
You are my knight in shining armor.
Yes, I
You
am.
will always be.
Yes, I am.
So when we go to heaven, we're going to try to go together.
Well, don't be in a hurry, though.
Okay.
Was that your reply to him? In between all the kissing and smooching?
Hey,
Did you have something specific you wanted to say to David, or are you good?
Oh, I will always love you, because you love me the way God loves me.
I do.
And I thank you for that.
Thank you for being my wife.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Each month at Cultivating Health Relationships, we try to highlight someone from the community who has been together for either a short time or a long time, or through some type of a devastating event. And they've found a way to stay together and continue to cultivate a healthy relationship. So maybe we'll have you all back again, and you can talk about some of those times where you've had challenges in your marriage or in your family that could have torn you apart, but it didn't. And if you wanted to talk about that tonight, feel free to do that.
Well, challenges will come. You'll always have some challenges in your life. But remember, God is a challenge. He's a challenge solver. So we never have to worry about anything like that. Plus, we have wonderful children. It's good when you have children to have wonderful children. We have children. I'll never be broke. I got rich children.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And next month, we'll see you in April with our next community highlight. We hope they're as lovely and beautiful as the two of you.
Enjoy yourself. Good night.
Nia Simone Hines did the makeup and the photo shoot, and there'll be pictures on my Facebook of the two of you for all of your friends and family here on the East Coast, West Coast, and all around the country. They miss you guys, and thank you for sharing your lives with us tonight.
Thank you.
We miss you.
Bye-bye.
Bye
And
now.
I'm not made up. Mine's real.
Thank you for joining, folks. To see more content like this, don't forget to visit cultivatinghealthyrelationships.com. We'll see you next time.
Bye.